you very much. Please be seated. The chairperson, the organizing committee, the great people of Midwest, fellow Kenyans, God is good. And all the time. Nisalimieni kwa hewa. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Bwana Yesu asifiwe tena. Hi cousins.
Hi cousins.
Cousins, hi. Hi bros.
Hi bro.
Hi sis.
Hi bro.
Hi shemeji.
Hi shemeji.
Hi neighbors.
Hi neighbors.
Midwest, hi. Midwest, hoi. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of my wife, Pastor Dorcas, and I, and our small delegation, say how delighted we are since our arrival to this great city of Kansas and this region for the very warm welcome all the way from the airport, all the way to the residence where we are staying. We had some dinner last night. This morning we went to President Truman's library and memorial, and it's been awesome. Even as we arrived for this town hall engagement, we want to thank you for the warm welcome. I must tell you from the bottom of my heart that we feel very loved and appreciated. In fact, we are feeling spoiled. You know, sisi tumezoea kukibiswa nyumbani na kasongo na tiagas. So, when we have wonderful people around us, full of smiles, loving us, appreciating us, we are feeling on top of the world. I wish I had more time here. Unfortunately, I have to leave early in the morning. But I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah? I've really loved this city and the people. You are wonderful people. You are very welcoming. I deserve to spend more time with you because it's a rare opportunity. Secondly, let me thank you, our great people from Kenya, for being united, for staying together and loving one another. That is the Kenyan spirit, and that is my wish. And I'm very happy since I came to the US more than a month now. Wherever I have gone, I've found Kenyan people. They love one another and they stay together. I am very encouraged, and that is the message I'm sending back home, telling our people what I have found in the United States, that our people are one, our people love one another. And I want to encourage you to continue loving one another, staying together, be your brother's keeper. Let us hold each other's hand and let us live in peace, harmony, and love, because that is the right thing to do. Why is Rick G in America? Rick G has come to the United States to listen to the ground, because I believe no leader can succeed unless you align with your people. And the only way to align with your people is to listen to them. That is where Kasongo has lost it. He forgot he was elected by people. He doesn't listen to them anymore. And even when there is issues, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn. I belong to the school of thought that continuous engagement is a hallmark of good leadership. So I came to the States to listen to the ground. Hapa Midwest munasemaje?
One time.
Ati munasemaje?
One time.
Hapa ndio munasema?
Yes.
Kasongo ni one time. Mumeamua? Museme na sauti kubwa asikie akiwa nyumbani. Ati munasemaje? Thank you very much. I've come because the people who live in the United States are part of Kenya. And they, like other Kenyans, care about home. And more than anybody else, the people living here are troubled by what is happening at home. They are anxious, they are fearful, they are worried. And I came so that I brief you as to what is going on back home. And I tell you the few ideas that we have of what we need to do. And I plead with you to walk with us in that journey, to liberate our country, to restore our dignity, to restore our country, and to make sure that we have a beautiful country that we call home. Because at the end of it all, east or west, I have no doubt in my mind that all of you in this hall and all of the Kenyan people across the United States and elsewhere have a plan one day to go back home. Is that true? And you want to go to a home that preferably better than where you are. So it is your concern, it is your prayer that home works, systems work, there is a peaceful environment to do business, there is security, there is healthcare, there is education, so that when your days come and you need to come back home, you can leave your children here continuing with your investments and retire back home to a very peaceful retirement, and that is what all of you would wish. I am aware sufficiently that you know what is going on at home, because you people do a lot of work back home by supporting families. And therefore, on a daily basis, you are in conversation with the people back home, and you, like all of us, are concerned about what is going on at home. And before I go into serious things, on a light note, cousin Omari, ako wapi Omari? Amenda. Where is Omari, the guy who is married in Lemuru? Omari? Omani. Where is he, the guy who is married in Lemuru? So when you see him, you tell him, traditionally, and I think that's why he has left. I think somebody from Mulima must have sold me. Because I wanted to tell him, traditionally, all the girls are my daughters. Yes. And payment of dowry is a life thing. So anytime you meet your father-in-law, you must. So I had hoped to kutana naye nyuma ya hema anipatie kitu in dollars because of having my daughter from Lemuru. Let me say this with a light touch. Let me say this. Back home, it's tough. There are tears. There is anguish. There is fear. There is uncertainty. Our children between the ages of 15 to 24 are being abducted and killed by the state. More than 200 kids since 2024 have been abducted, tortured, and killed, and others have disappeared. Parents worry. When you don't know where your child is, you cannot sleep. If you call your child and the phone is off, you are worried. And the situation has been worsened that Kasongo and his boys have now gone berserk, and they no longer fear, and they no longer pretend. The CS in charge of Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, in broad daylight, gave an order to police to shoot, to kill. A week later, Kasongo himself, shamelessly, in total impunity and total disregard of the Bible teaching that thou shalt not kill, in total violation of the Kenyan Constitution, publicly announced that our children should be shot in the leg. The chairman of the National Assembly Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations, Nelson Koech, corrected Kasongo very angrily that the kids should not be shot in the leg, they should be shot in the head. That is the situation we face as a country, where in total disregard of the Constitution, against biblical teachings, a president of a country elected by the people has the audacity to give orders for the extermination of our children. That is why Kenyans are saying, Bwana Kasongo, even if you pipe milk to our homes, even if you build roads made of gold, even if you paid us every day 100,000 shillings, your hands carry the blood of our children, and there is no way we can vote for you. And that is why the one-term movement is now like a religion in Kenya. Everywhere you go, where 2 or 3 are, that is the discussion. In the Uber, in the salon, in the matatu, in the bar, the discussion in the country is that this man must go because his hands bear the blood of our children. I want to say that this situation cannot be allowed. And since he is not pretending anymore about the killing of the children, he has announced it himself. The people of Kenya have no choice but to make sure they send him home and remove him from office through an election. And that is what is going on. Besides that, the economy is on a nosedive. Pending bills, people who worked with the government for many years, he has refused to pay them. They are owed more than 900 billion Kenya shillings. If you look at the Nation newspaper every morning, there are about 10 to 12 pages of auctions of properties being sold belonging to businessmen who did work for government and they have not been paid for the last 3 years. The only consolation is that nobody is buying the property because nobody has the money to buy it. So they keep on re-advertising every week because there is nobody who has money to buy the properties. William Ruto found a working education system. President Mwai Kibaki, the third president of the Republic of Kenya, the greatest leader of our time, brought free primary education, and President Uhuru Kenyatta improved it by extending to secondary schools and also bringing 100% transition from primary to secondary school. He found a working university financing model and a help, a working system most of you went through, including I, that he put it aside and brought something that is not working. As we speak, many university students are at home. They cannot access university education. Most principals of secondary schools and head teachers of primary schools are living in fear and in hiding because of being auctioned. The schools are being auctioned because they have not paid suppliers, because money meant for capitation has not been provided by government. So the education system is facing near collapse. The health system, and you people here in America know how important and critical a working health system means to our people. He found a system called NHIF that was struggling but working, that needed improvement. The people at NHIF had come up with a program that needed 800 million Kenya shillings to reform it and make it workable and compliant with the present times. Kasongo came and discarded that system and brought something called SHA and SHIF at a cost of 104 billion Kenya shillings. Money that he is stealing with his cronies. And despite stealing all that money, the system is not working. And you people know that because you have parents back at home. You know when they go to hospital, they cannot get their bills paid by insurance. Again, that is something that he has destroyed. He came up with something called the housing levy, ostensibly to construct affordable houses for the people of Kenya. It is not the work of government all over the world to construct houses. Governments put up roads, water, electricity, drainage, sewage. It is the work of the private sector to construct houses. But he has put it by force because he has business interest in company with some Asians to supply cement, steel, and iron sheets. So the whole affordable housing scheme is about corruption. It's about conflict of interest. Again, you find in agriculture, all the sugar factories have been sold to Asians in partnership with Kasongo. Last week, despite us having rice in Moya and Ahero that has not been bought, that is in the stores, he has authorized the importation of 5,000 metric tons of rice, duty-free, that will come and kill the rice farmer in Moya and Ahero. So you find, because of state capture, the president is in business in every sector. He is competing with every other businessman. And because of his advantage as president, he has killed all other business people. He's doing all the businesses in Kenya. I remember when we came into office, there's something called e-Citizen. It was an app that was being operated by some private people and doing some little work for government. And when he came, he brought a lot of issues saying it is wrong for anybody in the private sector to collect money on behalf of government. And he said the Ministry of ICT must take up e-Citizen. Little did I know he wanted the owners of e-Citizen to come into the open. So when they came, he negotiated with them, took 80% of the business and said they should continue, and ordered all government services to be onboarded through e-Citizen. Out of every 5 shillings that is paid through e-Citizen, he pockets 3. That is not enough. The Auditor General has reported more than 10 billion shillings collected through e-Citizen cannot be traced. So what is happening in Kenya is that we don't have a government. What we have is a criminal enterprise, theft of public funds, where the president has taken over all the businesses in the country. He's a chief procurement officer, he's a chief accountant, he is a supplier, he is everything. And nobody can ask a question. And that now brings me to explain to you why we fell out. I believed this man because he came with a Bible, and I'm a Christian. I'm the husband of a pastor. So when you come with a Bible and say you are saved, I believed this man. And all the things he told me and told the people of Kenya, we believed. I did not even have an MOU with him. We never wrote any agreement. I believed everything he told me. But when we arrived in government, it's a one-man show. He makes all the decisions. And all these decisions are selfish. It's about him. He's a businessman. He doesn't care for the country. And I started telling him this is wrong. Within a very short time, he captured Parliament. Parliament cannot ask a question. He captured the Senate. They cannot ask a question. He compromised all institutions of oversight. Nobody can ask a question. The only person who remained who could ask a question was Tinga, Raila Odinga. And he told me, we'll look for this man. He loves money. We'll give him some money. He'll also keep quiet. And sure as December 25 is Christmas. I'm telling you, just as sure as December 25 is Christmas, the way Osinde has explained, the man is eating and hence observing table manners. He cannot speak, his mouth is full. So the two are one and the same. And you know, sometimes we were debating. Okay, William Ruto is a great mistake. It's a mistake we have to live with. We made a mistake. I made a mistake. And I have apologized to the people of Kenya. But what was the alternative? Had we elected Raila Odinga, the same thing would have happened. The two would have crossed ranks. They start eating together the way they are doing today. So we are just saying Kenya was presented with two unpleasant choices. There were two hyenas, but they were different. One without teeth and one with teeth. And I think to a certain extent, President Uhuru Kenyatta was right. Probably we should have gone for the hyena without teeth because it will not finish us in one day. Yeah? Si ingetukula pole pole. Sasa mimi regarding Gachagua decided to go for the hyena with the teeth. And it started with me. So somebody was telling me, much as I sympathize with you, nafikiri ni sawa, hii fisi iko na meno ilianza na wewe. Ndio sasa ikujie si? So yesterday I heard David Morales saying that Jubilee can support Raila Odinga if they abandon William Ruto. Raila Odinga and William Ruto are birds of the same feather. None of them is an alternative. We must get rid of the two because they are Kenyans' problem. So when he bought Raila Odinga and he kept quiet, then he started stealing everything in the country. Started killing people. And I disagreed with him. And I was left as the only option now to fight for the people of Kenya from within government. Everybody else had been compromised. I was left alone. And I started fighting from within. So when he decided to kill our children, the Gen Z, I said no. And when he insisted and killed them on June 25th, 2024, I went to Mombasa and called a press conference as deputy president and told him off. And that was our parting shot. We never talked again from that day. We would only communicate in messages because I called him out publicly for killing our children. If Rigathi Gachagua was a selfish man, I would have agreed with William Ruto, like Raila. We sit and eat, then we finish the country. Today I'll be a very wealthy man. I would have joined him in all the deals. E-Citizen, we do. Fuliza, we do. Medical equipment, we do. Because he was willing to let me eat so that I keep quiet. He was quite happy. In fact, he told me, we wacha mambo mingi bana. We kuja tukule bana. Hii Kenya ni yako. Hii Kenya ilikuliwa na Kenyatta, bado isha. Ikakuliwa na Moi, bado isha. Ikakuliwa na Uhuru. We, shida yako ni gani? You know? Had I been just another Kenyan, like the Kenyans I see, if I was like Raila Odinga, a selfish person, I would have agreed with William Ruto. I stay as deputy president. I enjoy the privileges, there are many, and we eat. We finish the country. We let the children die, and I just sit there. But my conscience wouldn't allow. I am not a wealthy man, but I'm not a poor person. And I don't need money myself. My children are big, they are working. My wife is here, is a pastor. Nywele yake hata haihitaji 3,000. So, what reason would I had to join William Ruto in the gravity train to finish our country, to steal everything? I said no, and I paid for it, and I'm happy that I became the sacrificial lamb for the people of Kenya. We will fix our country, and I want you to be comfortable in the knowledge that the darkest hour is just before dawn. Our dawn is coming. The mood in the country, people of Kenya have made a decision. And nothing can change that decision. In fact, it's only that it's far away. Ni mbali sana. 2 years is a long time. But we don't have a choice because we are democracy, and we don't want change through unconstitutional means. We want change through the ballot. So what we're asking is Kenyans to persevere, to be resilient, to be patient, and we'll make the change at the right time. I was worried before I came here that the level of impunity by the president is becoming dangerous because people are being killed every day. When we had Sabasaba, the government hired criminals to burn shops, to destroy property under police supervision. Policemen were shooting people without caring. Young children were killed, and the president did not